do anything different. President Mahama has not done anything different except that the media is giving him the hype. President Mahama has not changed. Anything that he did prior to losing election in 2016 is going to be repeated in the next 4 years. I don't expect anything from President Mahama. Unfortunately, that people believe in him. But that is the truth. Akufo-Addo is no longer the president of this country. Whatever happens from today, it's better they judge Mahama and leave Akufo-Addo out. The people of this country, one way or the other, have said that they believed in Mahama. They have given the mandate to him. He should prove to the people of this country that it was not a mistake. And one of the things that has characterized his administration in the next 4 years is what happened at Ablekumanov.
All right,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Former Ashanti Regional Communications Director for the NPP, Dennis Kwakwa. Doc, we are let's pick Bawku. You are the MP for Garu. You are within the enclave. The youth of Bawku are very unhappy. Yesterday we had some conversations with some of them from the Kusau area. They are increasingly becoming agitated. The youth are becoming tired of what is happening. They've gone ahead to shut down as the assembly offices and all within the place. As an MP, how concerned are you about all that keeps happening within the enclave?
Thank you very much. Very, very concerned and very, very disturbing that this issue of Bawku keep coming up, even though a lot of efforts is being made to ensure that a permanent solution is sought to bring peace and integration of the good people of Bawku to live happily together. Let me just say that a lot is being done by the president through Otumfuo to ensure that permanent peace returns. But what I want to say this morning is that I have the conviction, and I'm categorically and I'm entirely convinced that the Bawku conflict has become a criminal enterprise for some groups of people. And I think the military has a role in this criminal enterprise. That is what I believe. That is what I've observed.
Doc, why do you say that? Why? The military has a role in this criminal enterprise.
You see,
very strong words, Doc.
You see, yes, I'm saying this because of all what I've studied, I've observed, listened, I've seen happen. I think the military has a role in this. The deaths that happened the last few days in Bawku town was not between the two feuding factions. It wasn't. It was between the military against one faction. If a vehicle is shot at by a group of criminals, a military vehicle is shot at by a group of criminals, the military have what we call military intelligence. They have special squads. They have drones hovering around Bawku to observe and fetch out any criminal. They didn't do anything of that sort. They didn't trigger their military intelligence to go around and do anything to arrest the people. They didn't use the drones to monitor the people who triggered the bullets, the gunshots at them to arrest them. But they went berserk. Even to schools where students were in classes, students were in dormitories, to beat students up, hold a young man and break his hand. This is madness. Why do I say the Bawku issue is becoming a criminal enterprise for some people? Let me give you an example. You take Nima. Take Nima as a center of Bawku and the rest of the surrounding area. And it's being cordoned by a military. Anytime somebody from Nima wants to move out to anywhere, he's escorted to go out. Anytime somebody wants to move outside and go into Nima, he's escorted to go in. And those people within the inner part of Bawku, every day, from what we know, they get escorts to do what they want. However, you find it very difficult to understand how military are escorting these people in and out every day. They can't go out without military escort. They can't go in without military escort. But they continue to get ammunition in the middle to perpetrate this crime going on in Bawku. How do they get the weapons? I'm asking you a question. This is simple analysis. I, the one speaking, I'm telling you, I'm not interested in a fight in Bawku. We share blood in Bawku. Most of the young boys fighting, uncles, some of them uncle the Kusasis. Some of the Kusasis uncle the Mamprusis. Most people are not interested in this war, I'm telling you, in this conflict. But I can say there's a criminal enterprise working in Bawku. Recently, some of the military men escorted people out of the Bawku township to Werianga, a village outside Pusiga. When their boss called them and asked them, where were you? They reported that they were in Bawku. They illegally escorted people out of the town without the notice of their bosses. This is why I said there's some criminal enterprise going on. From the women inside the township, where they need to escort them in and out, say goods inside the town are more expensive than those outside. Simply because the military are doing some trade enterprise by escorting them and charging them fees for the goods they escort to go inside for them to buy. Is this not an enterprise? Will the military who are trading on this war want the fight to finish in Bawku? I'm not blaming the youth. I am blaming the work of the military that is sustaining the conflict. Some of the military men, the current commander, does not control the boys on the ground. The boys do anything and they ask, and they will tell them that they get a command from above. How can you have a commander on the ground and somebody is in Accra or Kumasi or somewhere giving command to the boys down there? We have intelligence on all that. We have intelligence. Recently, the recent event that happened 3 days ago, the commander was in Accra when the whole incident happened. Why was he in Accra? When there was shooting in Walawali, and you knew very well that if they're shooting in Walawali to kill people from Bawku, Bawku people will retaliate. Then you get up and invite the commander of Bawku to come to Accra. He moved to Accra the following, that very day, there was serious attack. People were beaten. A child of 10 years was killed by a military. A child of 10 years. Can a child of 10 years hold a catapult to shoot a bird? But the military had cause to kill that child. A young lady was killed, a momo vendor, was shot and killed 18 times. What type of anger, what type of military is this? Are the military taking sides to say that, okay, during Mahama, the worst things have also happened to Kusasis. So Mahama is not able to control the situation in Bawku, despite the fact that he promised to bring lasting peace to Bawku. To some of us, it is this same, I'm telling Dennis, it is this same NPP influence that has caused what happened in Bawku to equalize that Mahama cannot solve the problem in Bawku. Or else, why should the military go and destroy the symbol of the tradition of the Kusasi traditional area? Tell me, did the statue of our overlord, insult the military? The military who are there to protect the overlord and his people, and the people of the Mamprusis in town, they are there to protect all of us. Did the statue of the overlord insult the military? No. This, to me, this attack this time was coordinated to tell the people of Ghana that under NDC, worst thing has happened to Kusasis, despite the fact they had hope on Mahama. To me, it is not NDC people, no NDC man, military man, even if he's alleged to be an NDC supporter, would attempt to destroy the statue that serves as the golden image of the tradition.
Okay.
This definitely points out to Dennis and his cohorts and his government that they perpetuated this with a plan by inviting the commander of Bawku to Accra, and they remain and perpetuate this crime to mar the image of John Dramani Mahama, who is working very closely with His Royal Highness Otumfuo Osei II to solve the Bawku issue.
All
This
right.
has come to mind.
Well,
That is
Doc,
why
Doc,
the youth
Doc,
is
let me just
angry.
hold you for a minute, and let me go to Dr. Franklin Bani, who is a security analyst. Doc, you've just heard from the MP for Gary. You heard Dennis earlier. How concerning are some of these allegations, Doc?
Yeah, thank you very much. But before I come to the Bawku subject matter, permit me to do a little correction of some security technologies. He was saying that Howard Johnson was using pepper spray as a weapon. Yes, indeed, it's a weapon, but we have two categories of weapons. We have the lethal and non-lethal. Pepper spray doesn't kill. It is supposed to, suppress, and so that the person could be arrested for interrogation. So it's not a weapon. When you make it a weapon, that means it's really for killing. It's destructive. But this is non-lethal, which is permitted for self-defense around the globe. So that's correction that we made. Proceeding to Bawku, I think it's important here for one to do some simple assessment. The military resident classes in break trust or intelligent failure. Now, I really see that there's a total break in trust. Long-standing ethnic tension, particularly between Mamprose and Kusasi, have really deepened suspicions towards security forces. I foresee that often accused right now or being biased and brutality is on the increase. Now, the military presence, rather than assuring or reassuring, is increasingly seen as provocative or oppressive by the locals. Secondly, now I can see some intelligent failure in my simple assessment before I come to the subject matter. There's a lack of deep local intelligence, and the local intelligence has led to misdirected or excessive force, which is supposed not to be so, often harming civilians and escalating the conflicts on the ground. Now, failure to involve respected local leaders in a security decision contribute to missteps. That's why we brought in the tune for the king of Asante Kingdom. Now, there's a danger or dangers to conflict resolution. One is radicalization. The continuous clashes breed resentment, especially among the youth, and who may resort to arms or join militant elements. There seems to be a breakdown of dialogue. Once the military is seen as an aggressor, local cooperation with peace efforts collapses. Now, undermining the development and then also the stability of the area is also paramount here. I see frequent curfews, displacement, and fear limit economic activity, education, and healthcare access. All these are undermining development and stability within the area. Now, looking at the national security spillover, I see unresolved Bawku tension could spill over into neighboring districts or countries, attracting cross-border militant interest here, which we need to be very observant and be critical about this. Now, what I look up to the government's action is what there seems to be a lot of rhetorics, more talk, less actions. Government statements on the restoring peace are not translating into measurable improvements on the ground. Committees and press conferences have replaced sustained community-based conflict resolution mechanism. Okay, so I see that there's a need to shift. There's a need for shifting. Appoint a dedicated peace envoy with authority and resources to negotiate lasting settlements, just like they've done that of Otumfuo. Let's hope so. They have to incorporate traditional leaders, which they have done, youth groups, more women into the peace building strategies. If women are sidelined, it's dangerous, because at the end of the day, women are the receiving point of conflict or misunderstanding or fight or whatever. It's the women and the children who are highly affected. There must be all stakeholders that are really necessary, important in the the conflict resolution must be involved. So both electoral violence and all this Bawku conflict highlights and dangerous erosion of public trust in the state institutions. Without bold and impartial action, Ghana risks sliding into a pattern where violence becomes normalized in both politics and communal life. And I bet you the time for words is past and it should be a thing of the past. Only sustained, credible action will reverse the tide we have today.
Well, Doc, I come back to you, Dr. Anaba. Your youth are complaining. Your youth are at their wits' end. Development has stalled in Bawku. They really cannot do much. And so they say that they're expecting government to go beyond the lip service, the talk of we are working hard, we'll do more and all, and take a decisive action. Government has all of the power in its hands. As an MP within the enclave, what are your expectations for what must be done so that the youth can also live to their full potential?
You see, the youth have the right to request for government to accelerate the process of bringing lasting peace to Bawku. For 8 good years, Bawku and its environs and surrounding constituencies have been abandoned, simply using the war, the conflict as an excuse. When you have a government that was in power for good 8 years. So now that they have hope of a government that has come and promised to give them a lasting solution, for which we know they are doing, because peace cannot be sought within 2 months, 3 months, because it's a very long conflict that has existed in Bawku. But happenings now is what the youth are worried about. If the youth do not want peace, do not want development, would they be crying for it? They would rather stick to their arms. But they are crying that they want lasting peace. It means that the youth are ready to lay down their arms. That is why I'm telling you that the military in Bawku is to be blamed for the continuous conflict in Bawku. To me, I don't put the blame on the youth again. Because if they really do the needful, use the military intelligence to do the needful, we can control this. This conflict would end. But you see the trade they are doing there with escorts and trading in whatever thing that we can suspect is making the conflict to continue. If the youth were not asking for peace, that is where you think that the youth like the war. But in this case, they are rather asking for peace, meaning that it is left onto government to instruct the military to get military that are unbiased, that can use intelligence to enter Bawku and ensure that all the criminals within, because to me now, the conflict is not about chieftaincy or whatever. It's about people who are trading in war. To me, it's about people who are trading in war, because you can't understand how all the time anybody entering the place is escorted. How are they getting the weapons in? How do they get it in? The same military are escorting the people. The same military got angry and even destroy the bust of the chief, meaning that they are even fed up with the chief. And even if they see him, they'll kill him and end the situation. So to me, I appreciate the youth's intention and their desire for peace. And let's see how we can sit with them. Let them tell us the truth. What do they want government to do to bring about the peace? I think government is doing part, but the military is not helping the government. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, must get into the military to get very high-level, unbiased military officers and high-security intelligent men to go into Bawku and fish out all the criminals to ensure that no weapons enters Bawku. Adam Bona, in charge of small arms and arms, You think you say you have intelligence. Use the intelligence to stop the movement of arms into Bawku. That is what we want. We don't want you to sit in office and be giving press conferences. Use your office to ensure that no weapon enter Bawku. That is why you were appointed. Advise the president on how to end arms entering Bawku. And I tell you, once there's no arms in Bawku, this conflict will finish. Because I'm telling you, if you go to both sides, both Kusasis, Mampurushis, Moshis, and whatever, if you go and ask any of them, 9 out of 10 will tell you they want peace. A few crop of people within Bawku are those who are perpetuating this, and the military is benefiting from it. From escort, they are benefiting from escorts. They are charging for escorts, and they are benefiting from it. And they want to ensure the conflict continue for them to benefit from it. I'm saying this because the intelligence gives us this information. I don't want war in Bawku. I don't want fight in Bawku. I want to live peacefully with everybody in Bawku. Few people are inside Bawku causing this problem. Few people. And once you attack somebody in Bawku, relatives in Walwali will get angry. And when Walwali also attacks somebody on the way, relatives in Bawku will get angry. So we need to nip everything in Bawku and control everything in Bawku. Whatever the president has to do, he should do it. Otufo is doing his part. But I think that the laws of this country and the courts of this country have determined who is the lawful owner and who are the lawful key chiefs of Bawku. Until it is overruled, until it's repealed by any court again, the Zugran continues to be the overlord of Bawku till that kingdom come. And everybody must respect that. Anybody who is illegally sitting in Bawku as a chief is causing a problem. And I will appeal that the government to see how he can work to get this illegal chief out. That will bring down tension. He should change all the military officers in Bawku and screen well-deserving, unbiased military men sent to Bawku with serious intelligence monitoring to fish out all the criminals. Bawku town is not very big. The military can do it. But I tell you, some of them are trading in the war. They are trading in the war. So to me, I'm happy. I'll conclude by saying I'm very happy that you are calling for peace. Once you are calling for peace, government, give them the process that will bring peace quickly. Provide the enabling environment that will bring peace. And take away the criminal military officers who are in Bawku, who have disrespected you, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, by going to destroy the traditional symbol of the Kusasis. They are under your command. And your minister should sit up. Your CDS should sit up. The military intelligence should sit up and fish all the military people in Bawku who perpetrated this crime by disgracing the NDC party. Because NDC is a peaceful party. After election of John Dramani Mahama, peace came back to Bawku until some criminal infiltrants of the military went back to Bawku. To Dennis and his people, this is not perpetuated by NDC. The MPP has infiltrated it to cause an equalization of the crimes in Bawku under them. I converse with some of the Mamprusis. I chat with them. I preach peace to them. Look, I've been to Kigali and I've gone to their genocide memorial. You don't go to that place and come back and preach for war. I tell you. And I am for peace. We want the arms to go down. The military should be changed. And I tell you, if they remove even the military from Bawku for 1 week and they know that there's no military, everybody will lay down his arms. I'm telling you. It's the military who is perpetuating this. And I'll stand to defend it before them. That's what I have to say.
All right, Doc. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning, Dr. Thomas Anaba. Dr. Baini, let me come to you and pick your final thoughts on this matter of Bawku. We've spoken about Bawku so many times, but every time we've come back, it looks like the issue keeps degenerating. What more can we be doing?
Well, I earlier on reiterated that indeed what is happening right now, governments action or rhetoric. There's more talk, less action. So indeed, government statements and restoring on the subject of restoring peace are not translating into the measurable improvements on the ground. That's what I have to let them know. Now, the committees and press conferences have replaced sustained, supposedly community-based conflict resolution mechanism. So right now, my words are that there's a need for a shift. There must be a paradigm shift here. Now, they should appoint dedicated, committed peace envoy with authority and resources to negotiate lasting settlement. On the other hand, incorporate traditionally, which they have done by bringing in the opportunity for youth groups, women into the peace building structures. And then, of course, shift focus from military, like what my colleague was saying, from military solutions to economic empowerment and intergroup dialogue. That is my take here, and that will help a lot. Other than that, all that they are just going round, all this period of time, many years up to this day, and we are still just, causing more injury into the conflict resolution, which we need lasting solution. So this allows them, they should stop making a committee and a statement, press conference. That will not help. And then there must be a paradigm shift here for a peace to prevail. Because fighting war is not a good thing. It's not a good thing to condone and connive at all. And the military, actually, we all know they have been trained in the work for a purpose of not for internal or homeland security. They are meant for the territorial integrity of the state. When somebody is coming into the country with evil thoughts or evil plans, they have to stop it. Then the police is responsible and are mandated by the Constitution to ensure internal or homeland security. That line must be drawn. But now it looks like the military are the ones who are taking the role of the police, which to me there's a conflict of powers here. And that is also contributing to what is going on there. So peace to prevail, institutions must allow to work. Institutions must allowed to fall into their own will and then march on. Military is not for internal security. They are meant for external or territorial integrity of the state. Then police are responsible for homeland or internal security, for peace and order. Let us draw these lines and then whoever is responsible for a particular institution must be provided with the resources that are available, and they should not also interfere as allow the institution to operate. I think Obama came to here to remind us that indeed it's important here for us to ensure that institutions that have been established be allowed to work. As long as the institutions are there and they're not allowed to operate within their remit, and they're being interfered with, I'm afraid we'll still be where we are.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. We're most grateful to you.